Ayodeji, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Yemi, and this channel is all about inspiring you to own your life, live up to your potentials, and to be your best self. But today's video is going to be the backstory of my third baby boy, baby Jojo. According to Noah, my second son, he'll say JJ. So yes, we are doing the backstory, and thank you guys so much for your love and your comments in previous pregnancy videos, baby series videos, you know. And I've seen some of your comments that you want to see baby, you are expecting, blah blah blah. Thank you guys so much, I really appreciate it. Here is baby. So I've attempted to record this video a couple of times now. Baby is currently 5 weeks old. I've attempted when he was a month old. Obviously I gave myself time to rest and all that, but I recovered thankfully quickly, and I wanted to record this video, but I've not had the time. Baby is clingy, hence why he's strapped to me today, and I need to just get this video done and dusted. Okay, so if you're hearing him breathe, that's his breath. Anyways, that's why we are doing this video together. And by the way, who remembers this sweater from our clothing haul? Yeah, I love the sweater so much. Anyways, if you haven't seen the video, I'll link it up here for you so you can go ahead and check it out. Baby's due date was actually the 9th of February. But baby came on the 2nd of February, so it was exactly a week early, and I went into labor on the 1st of February. So here's the background. I've been having, you know, contractions. So normally you would have those contractions that are not the real contractions, that are just like Braxton Hicks, that's what it's called. So I've been having those, but it was quite intense compared to my previous baby. In fact, my first baby, I would just feel it slightly. The second one was a lot more intense, a little bit intense than the, like you would I felt it a bit more, but this one was really intense, and I was like, why is it this intense? Like I would feel my stomach squeeze really hard, and I thought it was because, you know, they usually say that with multiple pregnancies you feel everything a lot more, everything will come quicker, everything will be experienced earlier. I've been walking as well. I've been exercising and all those things to just induce labor. But on the 1st of February, that morning, I really had like really intense contractions. But I didn't want to call my midwife. I didn't want to go to the hospital or do anything like that, because with my second pregnancy with Noah, I went to the hospital a little bit. I went to the hospital a day before. I was just feeling dizzy. I felt like I was just going to poo or something. I was just feeling somehow, and I went to the hospital. Getting there, I had not even dilated. It was just nothing. So I didn't want to go or call anybody this time, because I wanted it to be the real deal. So with my first baby, what I saw was the bloody show, and it's like mucor mixed with blood. It's very easy to understand when you get to that point. I saw that, and then I started to get contractions, like serious labor contractions, and then, you know, it didn't progress as fast as it should, so I was induced, which is very painful, but I was induced. I had my baby, and that was it. With my second baby, I was in China at the time as well, so it came quick. I went to the hospital a day before. It was forced labor, and the day of my delivery, the day I went into the actual labor, I was just playing Scrabble with my friend. She went home. 10 p.m. I started to feel it. 1 p.m. it got a little bit intense. I still bathed. I had my bath, you know, cleaned up the house and all that, and I went to the hospital. I had my baby. It was really quick. If I was to be honest, it was really quick. So I was expecting that with the third one, it would be a lot quicker, as they say, and my labor would go smoothly. Like the second one was it was my best delivery experience. So with my third baby, which is this bed story now, on the 1st of February around 9:30, as I mentioned, I'd been having this Braxton Hicks contraction, but it was a lot more intense. It wasn't painful, it wasn't unbearable, but it was really intense, right? So that was during the day. So I did everything. We made dinner, we did our nighttime routine, and the kids went to bed, and me and my husband were just having our normal banter, and I was just like stressing him out. We're having a normal banter, and when I mean banter, I don't mean like on the bad side. It was just like you know, anyways, you guys get what I'm saying. So he was just done, like I was teasing him and all that. So he was just done, and he likes to sleep early, but I don't sleep early. So every time he wants to go to bed, I'm like stressing him out. So that was it. And then it was around 9:30. He had gone to sleep. He slept off while I was talking, and I was just like pressing my phone. And around 9:30, because I checked, I was on my phone, I just heard boom. I had my pregnancy pillow in between my two legs. You know, you'd get comfortable, you find your comfortable position. So I had my pregnancy pillow in between my legs. So I was lying down on my left side, and the pillow was in between my two legs, and I just heard boom. So the first thing I did was remove the pillow and closed my legs together. I don't even know why I did that, but I just felt like, what did I do? I just heard boom, and water was just coming out. Water was just flowing out. And then for a split second, I didn't know that that meant my water broke. I'd never experienced my water breaking before. In my first two pregnancies, they would always break my water. So I didn't know that that meant my water had broken. I just heard this boom, and water was just coming out. So I was like shocked. Then, like, for a split second, I was just shocked and didn't know what was going on. And then I just called my husband. I called him. It wasn't. He thought it was like me trying to stress him out again. It was like, I was just calling him. The next thing I said, my water just broke. He just got up, like he just got up. Was like, are you sure? I said, look, there's water everywhere. Everywhere is wet. I was almost like crying. Everywhere is wet. And I was like, oh my god, what's happening? Oh my god. He just said, relax, you know. It was even calmer than me. It was like, relax, like your water has broken. Okay, we'll probably go to the hospital. I then remembered that you have to call the hospital when your water breaks and all that. And it was out of, you know, hospital hours. So I had to call the hospital. I couldn't call my midwife. I had to call the hospital. So they'll give you the numbers and everything. So I told him to get me my file. It was already downstairs. I packed my bag at this point. Everything was downstairs. I just told him to bring that. And I just looked at the water. I realized that it wasn't what it was supposed to be, because I'd read about your water breaking, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. But I know that it's supposed to be white, it's supposed to be clear. But what I'm seeing has green. It's water, but then it's plain water, but then there's green patches around it. So immediately I checked on Google. I went on Google and I typed what to do. That's before my husband brought the book with the number. So I said, I checked Google and I typed what to do when your water breaks. So the first thing I would say is not to panic. Whatever you experience in pregnancy, don't panic. You would get enough time to get things sorted, okay? I just thought immediately, oh, hope I didn't do anything wrong. Or like, I was just scared at first because I'd not experienced it before. So when I typed on Google what to do when your water breaks, it says to go to the hospital, call the hospital if you can. But sometimes you don't even need to go to the hospital. You just call to let them know, but you don't need to go at the time, because it just means labor has started, right? But for me, so it then went on to say that if the water is clear or has a little bit of pink, then it's fine, but any other color is not okay. So at that point I started to panic a little bit more. But this water was just pouring out, like it was pouring out. I cannot even imagine the amount of water that was in my body. It was just pouring out. So I maintained one position. Meanwhile, I was still on the bed. So my husband and I said to get up. I just realized I needed to get up and clean myself up and wear a pad. If I just turn water, I'm like, what is happening? I then called and I explained to them. I was still on the bed. I explained to the person that, okay, my water just broke, and she was like, okay, what color are you seeing? And I explained, and I could feel a little bit of change in her voice and her tone, but she didn't want me to panic, so she kind of changed it that, okay, just try, dress up and come to the hospital. They'll get me checked, and if I need to come back home, I can't come back home, but if I need to stay back, I'll just stay back. But I should just get up that there's no need. I might probably have to come back home, that there's no need for me to panic and all that. I said, okay. So I got up. As I walked to the bathroom, it was just water. So I freshened up, wore the pad, and then off. We had to wake up the kids. We went to the hospital. So getting to the hospital, I went inside. They had me checked. They checked the baby. by the time I got to the hospital, the pad I wore was already soaked with water. And let me tell you, it was just like 15 minutes drive to the hospital. So we had already made arrangements for childcare, like for somebody to come and look after the baby, my kids, but the person we're calling, but he wasn't picking up. The person wasn't picking up, so we had to. My husband drove to get him, and that was sorted anyways. I got to the hospital, they had me checked, and the nurse was just giving some kind of vibe. She was like, okay, I need to change the pad that I'm wearing. I should just leave it in the bathroom. They'll come and check it. And then they gave me another one to wear. So it was already soaked, and the green was like on the pad, was showing clearly. So because I'd already explained, but then they saw it, and she then said she was going to reach out to another nurse, and they went, and then they did the scan. They did a scan to see baby's position, to check if everything was all right. Then they started to monitor the baby's heartbeat. So then the doctor came in. I don't know if it's a senior nurse or it was a doctor. With the nurse I was already checking, with the midwife, and then she said that, you know, everything is all right, but baby had a poo in the water, that, you know, in my water, in the water inside, right? The amniotic fluid. Yes, so baby had the poo already inside me. That's why the water is coming out greenish. They called it meconium and all that. Yeah, so that was something that was strange. I didn't even know. First, it was strange that my water broke. Second, I'm hearing that baby did a poo inside that could even affect the water, the color of the water. It was interesting. So I quickly went on Google when they stepped out to check what that means, you know. So it just means that, you know, labor needed to progress. You know, it needed to progress. Baby needs to come out as quickly as possible. So they decided to talk me through the options if I wanted to get induced, and just walk through all the options. Induction. After that, they will try to get it might, on the worst case scenario, I'd have to do a CS surgery to get the baby out as quickly as possible. They just needed labor to progress. At the time, I was not really feeling any painful contraction, so they checked to see how far my cervix has opened, and when they checked, I was just like, is it 2 centimeter dilated? So it wasn't like anything, and I was not really feeling any contraction. So they were monitoring my contractions as well. It was so far apart, like 20 minutes apart or 30 minutes apart, and they were really not intense, so it was not really progressing, but they needed baby to come out at the time. So they were like talking me through the options, and I was like, you know what, if baby needs to come out, baby needs to come out. I do not even mind getting induced. I remember that I've experienced induction before with my first son, and it was intense, painful, long, and honestly, if I had my way, like, I didn't even imagine that I would have to get induced for this baby, because my mind was that it was going to be shorter than my second delivery. But anyways, so when they mentioned that, I was like, you know what, put it on me. Put whatever that thing is called, put it on me. Strap me in. Put the injection. Like, I need the baby to come out as soon as possible as well. So, you know, they talked me through everything, my options, gas and air, if I wanted epidural to just relieve myself of the pain. I was like, just put that thing in, let the induction process start. I need baby to come out as well. I didn't want to hear anything that would mean like baby is in distress and I'll have to go through surgery, just because, again, I don't have anything against, you know, CS delivery. If he had to get to that, I really didn't mind, but I was always concerned. Even with my second pregnancy, my baby was breech at some point, and they said I was going to do a surgery, but then the baby turned before my due date. So I really don't mind, but my problem is usually the recovery. Oh my god, I cannot handle pain for long. I feel like I just can handle it for the time I need to, and it's a wrap. I don't want to experience pain, especially having to deal with sleepless nights with the baby, and then and it's just me. The little help I have around, it's like people offering to help. I cannot make anybody stay with me for a long period of time. And yeah, so I wasn't just I didn't want it to get to that point, really, just for recovery's sake. And I had 2 kids. I have 2 kids as well, plus baby. And I was like, no, 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 no. So let's get it on. I can handle it. Interestingly, I didn't take any gas and air, any pain. I didn't take pain relief, but it was just like they put water. It didn't even make any. In fact, I feel like I shouldn't have even asked for it because it didn't make any difference. But I didn't ask for epidural because, again, I've heard cases of where epidural gives people back pain. You guys, I'm not sure. Everybody's different. Body is different. So I was just going off what I've heard and people's experiences in the past with epidural. So I knew I didn't want epidural as well because I didn't want any back pain as well. So, but if I wanted, it was free. In the UK, it's free to get an epidural when you get induced and all. So I didn't want that as well, and I was enduring the pain. And let me tell you, I think I did a great job. In fact, my husband was with me all through, and even the nurse was like, wow, you my pain threshold is on another level. But I guess it was because I'd experienced it before. I knew what I was going to expect, and I was just calm, and I was just breathing through the pain until it got to the time. So at some point, okay, I'm getting in my own head now. So the induction process started around 11. I didn't give birth until 9 a.m. That's 11 p.m. on the 1st of February. I didn't give birth until 9 a.m. the 2nd of February. So I was in pain from that period, although it started slow. So around like 8 a.m. when this midwife was supposed to hand over to the next midwife, she checked and I was just 4 cm dilated. I was disappointed. Like with all the endurance that I've been doing, I'm just 4 cm. Are you kidding me? And we are supposed to get to 10 cm. At this point, I was disappointed. Even the nurse could see the disappointment in my face. So it was then I asked for pain relief, because I'm like, if we still have about 6 centimeters to go and I'm feeling this much pain and I'm enduring the pain, why do I need to endure further? Can I just get some relief now? Because I'm done. I'm exhausted. You know, when you go through pain for a stretched period of time, you will be exhausted. But I had that in mind. I took Lucozade Boost to the hospital. So I was drinking. I was, you know, highly hydrated and all that. But it gets to a point that you are tired as well. So, you know, I think I handled the pain well, you know, breathing through it. That was something else. I have a few clips. I might insert them here, but I was breathing through it. It was painful, to be honest. You know, it is painful to be induced, but I managed. But when it got to that point that, you know, it was just 4 cm, I asked for a pain relief, and they just gave me that, whatever, but it didn't really help, to be honest. Anyways, so she did say that from this point on, it will progress really fast, that I shouldn't be disappointed, everything will go really fast. And that was around 8. No, I don't think it was around 8. I think it was around 7 a.m. now that she said that, and I was 4 cm. So I was just like, okay, let's get 6 a.m., 7 a.m. ish, because I know from that period to when I gave birth, it wasn't that long anymore, like she said, but I didn't believe it at the time she said it. So I just remember the pain getting more intense, and right, it got to the point of delivery. Now, the pain got to a point where I knew that I need to start pushing now, because I've experienced it twice. I know, right? So there were more nurses now in the room, and because the baby so there were more nurses in the room. No, there were like 2 midwives in the room now, and then she hadn't checked at the time, so they called on the pediatric team, just because he had a pool in his in the tummy. You know, when it was still in the tummy, he was still in the tummy at the time. Just because he had the pool, they called the team. So there were a lot more people in the room, just so that when baby comes out, they will do their checks on the baby. So they were like ready to. There was another team on standby. I really love the efficiency though. There's another team on standby just to take baby and handle baby. Started talking about the heartbeat and all that. At this point, I just wanted baby to be out, because I was in so much pain at this point. Like, I was in so much pain. I wasn't screaming, but I was in pain. And I was just like, what else can be done? Like, what else can be done? How can you guys help me? What can I do now? My husband was just like giving me massaging my feet, doing everything. Like, so it got to the point that I knew that I needed to push now. Like, I know this feeling. I have to push. I have to push now. So I kept telling the nurse, and every time I would need to wee, I would need to do anything, they would carry me. Like, it was really, they were really efficient. They were really, really efficient, but it was so dramatic. So at this point, they so I started feeling like I needed to push. Like, I know that feeling. So I told the midwife that I really feel like I should push. She was like, okay, I should hold a little bit. She needs to check how much, how far gone I am now. And then she did the check and she realized that I was like good to go. She was like, she didn't even say it outrightly, like, you're 10 centimeter, you're fully dilated. She was like, I can't even feel anything around anymore. I can't feel anything. And I'm like, what does that mean? So the thing about this, the midwives is like, they were just speaking in parables. Like, say exactly in layman terms, what does that mean? But she was like, I can't even feel anything around anymore. I'm like, so what does that mean? What does that mean? She was like, oh, you're fully dilated is what it means. Like, you have, like, you're fully dilated. There's nothing around your cervix. She can't even feel anything around. So it's completely open. Like, she can feel like baby is coming, like the head and something like that. So I'm like, say it in a way that I would understand. What is, I can't feel anything? What do I know that, what does that mean? Anyway, so I realized I was fully dilated because my fear was pushing and then tearing inside and tearing outside. I didn't want to have a tear. I've never experienced a tear before as well. So I didn't want that. But it got to the point that I didn't even care. So I was like, okay, should I start pushing now? Should I start pushing now? And she was like, okay, just do whatever your body wants. Just allow your body. I'm like, what should I do? I need you to tell me. Like, I remember in China and in Nigeria as well, they will tell you, okay, you need to push now. On my count, when you feel the contraction, push. And they'll just like guide you. But she was saying, allow your body tell you what to do. Just follow it, go with the flow, go with your body. I'm like, should I push or not push? So I remember for a few times when this contraction came, I was holding it because I didn't know whether to start pushing or not. And I know if you push when it's not time, you might get a tear, which I was trying to avoid as well. Can you imagine, with all that pain? And at some point I was like, you know what? I don't even care what she says. I'm just going to go ahead and start pushing. So I started pushing late. I was holding it. So at that time, they were constantly checking the baby's heartbeat. There were a lot more people inside. They were checking the baby's heartbeat. And they were like, okay. And at some point, one of the other midwives now said, with the next contraction you get, I need you to give it a hard push. I'm like, hey, thank you. Like, anyways, so my point is that could have been confusing if I had not had, if I've not experienced, if it was my first baby, I would have been a bit confused, and they would have allowed me start later than I should have. I should have started pushing since maybe baby would have been out and save myself the energy. So at that point, I then started to push really hard. I did a lot of pushes, you guys. I can't remember doing that much pushes with my babies before. Like, I pushed. Even my husband was saying, okay, the head is out, and they would not even assist you when this delivery. They did not assist me in any way. Even when the head came out, I pushed the rest of the body out. I was so dramatic, you guys. But with a lot of pushes, eventually baby was out, and immediately the team carried him just to do a few checks before they gave me the baby to do skin to skin. I think I did skin to skin first. Yeah, once the baby came out fully, before the placenta even came out, they just gave me baby. They had already asked, you do your bed plan already. They had already asked if I want to do the skin on skin immediately. I said yes. So they brought the baby out. I put him on me. At that point, I was so exhausted. I didn't smile, I didn't do anything, but I was so happy to have the baby out. I was so exhausted at that point. So baby was out. My husband caught the clamp, the placenta. They did the clamping. Immediately they took the baby to do all the checks. because he cried out. So they did all the checks and they realized that he was fine. There's nothing to worry about. So they left, those other team, they left the room, and you know, they then did some kind of massage. They're not like, okay, you know what, don't do anything else, the placenta will come out. They were massaging my stomach and everything, and then placenta came out and all that, and they had to check if I had a tear or not. They did the check. I didn't have a tear. I was like, yes, to God be the glory. And I was just so excited to have my baby with me. They did the cleaning, everything. I went to have my bath and change. I was exhausted. I was eating everything and anything, and you know, had the long sleep and all that. So each baby has their own way of showing up in the world. They just come out in their own way. So don't expect it to be the same. I think that was what happened with me. I was expecting a lot, you know, easier and quicker delivery, which is fine. You know, you should expect something good for yourself, right? But anything can happen. Don't be shocked, don't panic, stay calm, just continue to speak to your midwives and doctors. So yes, baby came out on the 2nd of February. He was 3.7 kg. I don't know what that one means in pounds, but it was 3.7 kg, such a big baby. And he was fine, healthy. He's fine and healthy. Mommy is fine and healthy. As you guys can see, I'm recovering really well. And yeah, thank you guys so much. So some of you have sent me DMs on Instagram to share baby registry. I didn't do anything like that with baby, but if you feel like you want to give gifts to the baby or anything like that, there's this on YouTube, you'd see thanks with the $ sign on it. You can show your support or give something to baby through that channel. But I don't have any registry, and I don't have any mailbox to give to you guys to send anything. So if you want to do that, just use the platform on YouTube to give anything you want to the baby. That's fine. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. My friends has been amazing. Everyone around me has just been super helpful, and I'm grateful for the gifts of people. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Finally, I've done this bed vlog. I feel like everything was not like properly done or said on this. I feel like I was just blabbing all through, but it's just because I'm a bit concerned that the baby is uncomfortable now. So I'm just like, and I'm also sleepy as well, you know, that's the thing. So yes, anyways, I'm going to end the video now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, we will go back to regular programming on the channel. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your day as well. Bye now. Thank you for watching.